What unhealed wound in my lineage is speaking to me now? Thank you for joining me in Ancestral Healing with Alida, and today we are going to talk about the cycles of karma, the cycles of ancestral trauma, the cycles of repetitions, and we're going to talk specifically about this card that is the Wheel of Fortune in the Major Arcana, and this is connected to the Charlie Kirk death. When I do the numerology for Charlie Kirk, and it's a different numerology than the regular one, he was born on October 14th, 1993. When I add up all of those numbers, it's giving me the number 10. When I add up the day that he was murdered, that is September 10th, 2025, it gives me the number 10 as well. The number 10 in the mission, when a soul has a mission in a family tree, the number 10, usually a person with a number 10 will see his parents as a reference to repair something that it was incomplete with my parents, and I will need to fix it for them because I unconsciously put that weight on me. When I talk about the Wheel of Fortune, I have two different decks here. You see there is a wheel, and different authors talk to you about this wheel as the wheel of karma, the wheel of repetitions, the wheel when I go up and then everything goes down. It's a cycle. The way that he was murdered has a lot of blood on it. When someone has issues with blood, when someone has problems with blood clots, a lot of blood in general, the blood is your family, right? The blood represents your family and life. So I think that there was an issue in that inherited pattern for him that caused his death and the way that he was seeing the world. I have to say something else. I couldn't find more information about his family system, but I found out that his father, it was Robert U. Kirk. He's Charlie James Kirk, and I bet that there was another James in that family tree. I couldn't find it. But the father he died, it seems, in July 16, 2025. If it's July, August, September. It's less than 3 months. Again, he's connected. Sometimes we say unconsciously, I'll go with you. Even though he didn't want to consciously leave his children or his wife. Sometimes we follow them, especially if he's a 10 and he comes with this one. So the Wheel of Fortune is a karmic cycle, a divine timing, right? Something that is been repeating for over and over and over, and someone was refused to change the cycle, but cycles need to come to an end, so something new starts and something begin, and he was in charge of that cycle because he wanted to be. There is an author that is Nikki McKay, and she says about the Wheel of Fortune that is the loss of karma and ancestral knowledge. So it's karma in the ancestral information in one soul. So she refers to family traumas as rejection, exclusion, or acknowledged deaths. And these things, the rejection, exclusion, and the acknowledged deaths, create a cycle that is going to influence in the realm of death. So death is going to be always whispering in my ears, is always going to be connected to me when I just want to be alive and I want to have a long, happy life. If my ancestors are not at peace, their energy is going to stay, and we're going to create patterns. And then I will ask, why me, or why this happened to him? And that answer is, as a root cause, is connected to something inherited, to some karmas, to some karma or some patterns created because of a traumatic experience in my family system. If you heal one generation, usually 14 generations in this type of element, in this type of card, in this influence, 14 future ones will be healed, or they will be healing their wounds. And that's very important because I heal something for me, but everyone else is getting the benefit of this balance. You can do some rituals and some meditations to unblock this. And I follow Alejandro Jodorowsky. He's from Argentina or Spain. I think that is Argentina. And he has these books about psycho magic that I really like. One ritual to unblock this, if you add up your numbers and you see that you have a number 10, my grandfather had a number 10. and he had a car accident. He died on an accident. Coincidentally, his son died on an accident as well. Who was supposed to be his son-in-law died in a car accident. A lot of accidents. So this is called, it's a ritual of psychomagic to break the cycle of inherited trauma. You have to identify a specific ancestral trauma. So if you know that there was an accident, if you know that there was someone who you didn't meet, another siblings or another great-grand aunt, etc., or a pattern that you will see, something that is an anniversary, something that always happens, or a conflict, or a contract, or poverty, right? You will know what you need to work on is because you will feel stuck. Or someone said, I feel stuck. I cannot do anything about it. So you want to transform the cycle, close it, to begin a new one. So you will need a small round object to symbolize the wheel of fortune, a paper and a pen, a candle, as a preference white or blue, a small box or container, and you can have an item that is connected to your family system, the name, a picture, right? So you can sit quietly and identify which is the pattern, the specific issue in your life that may be connected to a family or an ancestor. And I want you to write in a very short description what is this pattern about and give it a name, give it a title. For example, my family's fear of expressing emotions, my family's blockage of having healthy relationships. So on that paper, write a letter to all of the ancestors. This is a letter to all of my ancestors that acknowledge this trauma, that they carry this trauma, and I acknowledge your pain and your suffering as well. For example, dear ancestors, I see the pain of your silence and I feel it in my inability to speak my truth. I honor your struggle, but choose to release this cycle. You can adapt it to relationships, career, abundance, fertility. Now, I want you to hold that round object and visualize it spinning towards the right, carrying the weight of this ancestral pattern. And you say out loud, I see the cycle and I choose to turn the wheel toward freedom. Light the candle to symbolize clarity and transformation, and place a paper next to it, letting the light illuminate the trauma. Fold the paper and place it in the box with a round object, with the object that is representing the wheel. Seal the box, you can tape it or tie it, I prefer tape, and say, I release this pattern to the past. The wheel turns and I am free. Now bury the box in a garden, park, or in a pot of soil to return the trauma to the earth for transformation. If you cannot bury it, you can place it under a tree, basically under a tree. It has to be with nature. Now, thank you your ancestors for their lessons and resilience, and visualize the wheel turning upward, bringing healing to you and your future generations. Now, for the next week, after you finish doing this ritual, you journal daily about any shifts in your emotions, behaviors, dreams, calls, messages, any signs. You take notes. And these symbolic acts work because you are bringing to life something that it was dormant, something that it has not been seen, and you give it energy. And don't only give it energy to see it, but you give it the energy to be released. So coming back, we are doing the wheel of fortune, and closing cycles in life in general is very important. So you can even apply this for different cycles. Of course, don't start doing your letters for every single thing, your ex, this one. Take your time because everything is integration. If you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also remember that I have my upcoming online intergenerational trauma and family constellation course. That is, we're going to be gathering twice a month since October 17th or October 8th. Online, everything is going to be fully recorded for 8 classes, and then we're going to do a circle online and one in person if you can make it to Massachusetts. And this is a transformational experience, and we're going to have a group chat on Facebook that is going to for support, for questions. And if you want to know more, I still have my early bit now, and you can subscribe, register now. You can go and check my other video, Family Constellations Masterclass in 1 hour. Thank you for joining me today.